Jen and I went to the FIRST Disney Jollywood Nights in Hollywood Studios, and as a new party, it had some stuff going on. Some of it nice, some of it naughty, and some of it nasty. So we're gonna break it down for you a little bit and kind of go over and just discuss. Due to everything kind of being new and all that, we're trying a slightly different thing here where we're actually gonna kind of just talk about it and piece stuff in so you can kind of see how things went as the night progressed and kind of in there in the moment with us. So overall, I think we're gonna start with the good. It's a new party, right? One whole new party that we get to go to per year. And one of the ones for me is, I think they did a really good job at check-in.
I agree. So for this particular party, it's from 8:30 to 12:30. And just basically, if you have the hard ticket, you are able to get in at 7 p.m. But if you have a day ticket or if you're an annual pass holder, you can get in obviously during the day, and that's something we would highly recommend. And the check-in process I thought was pretty smooth. Basically, they directed us to the Mickey's Shorts exit area, which is basically where Potato Land is. By the time we got there, which was around 5:30, around there.
Yeah, we got to about 5:30, 5:35, because they told us right when we were coming in that they were not going to start handing out stuff till 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So we kind of it was 25 minutes.
Yeah.
We're Disney people. We can wait in line for 25 minutes. That's
and
no problem.
They already had the markings and everything on the floor, and they kind of like made that little like snaky Disney queue that we're all pretty familiar with. And then there were some cast members already posted there. Right around 6 o'clock is when they started handing things out.
What were some of the other things that you really liked, that you thought were really good?
Yeah, so actually we tried some of the party specialty food and drink items, and those I thought were pretty good. Mike got to try the ABC Commissary.
Yes. So here we had to split up a little bit because I was in the process of ordering food. Jin wanted to go check out one of the performances that was supposed to have Miss Piggy in it. So I didn't know we were gonna split up. I ordered double portions of all of the entrees because one, I was hungry, and two, it looked good. In this, like when you see stuff where there's like stuff on one plate, that's actually 2 portions on one plate. But the prices were really reasonable. So it was small. It was kind of like a la carte. You could buy as you go. So
think like food and wine portions.
Yeah, food and wine portions. That's actually a great way to think about it, Jen. So food and wine portions.
Yeah.
It was maybe $5 to $7 for each thing. 5 something, 6 something, right?
Yeah.
The chicken pot stickers came with 2. I got 2 orders, so that was 4. I got 2 of the pork tacos, and then 2 of the mushroom tacos. The pork belly was really, really good. And then finally, there was 2 desserts. One of them was a coconutty, really light textured, cool, like a cold dessert. The other one was a Mexican hot chocolate, which I think basically was like a cheesecake that looked like a hot chocolate. So overall, some of the best quick service food I've had in Disney, and I ordered everything off the menu and I liked everything. They had a tequila old fashioned that I tried, which was good, but if I was gonna pass on one thing there, get one of the other drinks somewhere else. But overall, all the food there I would gladly order again.
For me, I actually didn't get to try the ABC Commissary, but we did end up going to the Soirée at the Tower Hotel. So I'll actually put in the footage from last night. So Mike and I ordered some of the specialty drinks, and we had a really, really good food hack or drink hack to make everything a little bit tastier. Okay, so we finally got our drinks. So this is at the Soirée.
3 hours later.
3 hours later. So what do we have? They're really pretty though.
Twilight daiquiri.
Twilight daiquiri. And which one's this one?
That is the 5th dimension.
Oh, okay. Tabuite. So you have the Twilight of Terror or something?
Twilight daiquiri.
Oh, how is it?
It has edible glitter in it.
We love edible glitter. We absolutely love that.
Very sweet.
Sweet? Okay.
Very sweet.
All right, so let me trade you this one.
Ooh, this smells way more citrusy. Ooh, this
That's a 5th dimension? Okay.
Twilight there.
I mean, I love edible glitter, so I'm here for it.
It doesn't taste like anything though.
That is so sweet. Oh my gosh. Wow. Whoa. That's really. Whoa. Whoa. Which one? This is the 5th dimension, whatever. remember?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Definitely get this one.
Yeah, well, for people like us that don't like super sweet things.
This one is, that's like thick, sweet thick. Sorry, Mike's gonna get that one. I don't think I can.
I'll choke it down like a champ. It's not that bad.
I really like this one. It's really citrusy. It's got a nice little like bubbling, and it just kind of like, oh, okay. I guess Mike. I think it's the sweetness gets really strong, especially after you've just had the more like tart citrusy.
I actually think now that I've gone back and forth, if I had to finish something, I think I would actually finish this.
You know what? We're gonna do something very radical. I'm sorry, Disney.
No. You want to do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
This is gonna be our food hack or drink hack for the evening.
We're going to see if it's an absolute win or a total disaster. Just mix them back and forth. Just go all in. Go pour it back. There you go. Just pour it back the other. No, pour this in there.
God.
No, just mix them up. There you are. Pretend like you're a bartender. All right, now split the difference. Yes. All right.
All right, here goes nothing.
Tabuite.
Oh my god. Actually, way better.
All right. Buy both, mix them up.
We feel that general entertainment was actually pretty excellent.
So this will kind of skew into like a bigger good that I think this Disney party is more geared towards adults.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy. The ticket prices are set up so that you can bring your kids, but you're going to pay just as much as an adult ticket.
Yep.
But there's less, and this will kind of skew into maybe the good or slash naughty. But for me, it's definitely skewed more towards adults. There's a lot of live music, a lot of adult beverages. The food is definitely more, I would guess, like more adventurous as a whole. Really liked it. And this goes out to all of the Disney fans that showed up. There was a lot of people really dressed up for this event, and it added to it. So I want to say thank you to everybody that dressed up. There was
Not just in like holiday Disney gear,
but
like actual
dressed up,
kind
of going out in Hollywood for the night in like old time Hollywood style,
like
right?
a lot of ladies dressed up in flapper dresses with the headpieces, and then a lot of gentlemen like actually dressed up in like tuxedos and like suits. So despite the fact that it was a pretty hot, humid, and ultimately rainy night, so I was really impressed with the guest energy. So the first entertainment we actually took, there are a couple different offerings that evening. There was a Jack and Sally Tim Burton sing along. That one, unfortunately, we didn't get to go to, but we're gonna keep that thought in mind because we're gonna talk about it in a little bit in terms of the not so nice section.
But not for the sing along itself. I just want to be clear. I tried to get into the last one, and as I was rolling up right around 11:30 for the last one, they did let us know that unfortunately they were at capacity and they were not taking any more guests at that time. But I did hear from multiple guests that they really enjoyed it. They said it was really good. So if you are at all a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, I would highly encourage you to maybe try and check out one of the earlier shows. That way, in case you accidentally get blocked out, you can still make it into the later show. And maybe give yourself a little bit of time to show up there.
Yeah, so the show that I actually got to watch was the Disney Holidays in Hollywood. That one featured Miss Piggy, Kermit the Frog, Mickey and Minnie, and a few special guests. I thought it was really well done. The dancers had great energy, and they were legit dancers, and Minnie in particular did a really great job.
Minnie was doing a good job dancing around the stage, so I was very impressed with Minnie's dancing. I always suspected she was getting secret lessons from Daisy. Turns out, she probably was. Minnie was doing a great job. Miss Piggy was spot on.
Yep.
Full on Miss Piggy.
Full on Miss Piggy.
So it was fantastic. Apparently there was an issue with her not having a hot tub in her trailer, but that's
Miss Piggy for you. And then there was a very late show. In fact, it was during the party closing time. It was a Jingle Bell Jingle Bam, which is kind of like a cute little projection show.
Projection, fireworks,
fire laser light show. It was kind of around a bunch of elves trying to rescue Santa. So that was sort of the main storyline.
I will say that this has more pyrotechnics than I think most of the Hollywood Studios shows that I've seen. Overall, really good pyrotechnics, good show.
Yeah.
And actually, even though we got soaking wet, the rain actually made a really cool effect with the laser light show, because as the lasers fanned out, you could see like sparkles in all the beams from the rain. So I actually thought it, while I was getting wet, I was like, hey, at least
kind of added to the
effect.
And then sprinkled throughout the night, they had projection on the Hollywood Tower of Terror, which is kind of cute. I mean, periodically they'll have stuff on there. You can kind of check it out. And then also for ABC Commissary, they had a Latin band. They had like salsa music, merengue, and stuff like that. And over at the Soirée, the Twilight Soirée over by the Tower of Terror or the Tower Hotel, they had a sort of like a swing band, and they had some jazz numbers and all that good stuff.
And then they set up a bar there. So where this area is right outside the gift shop of the hotel. They basically clear that out. They set up a band stage in the corner, and then they do a bunch of decorating, and they set up a bar. Kind of, if you're looking at the gift shop, there's like some doors to your right that kind of lead towards, I think, some Phantasmic area.
Yeah.
And they set up the bars through there, and then after they get all set up, they let people back in there. I was actually in that area trying to figure out what was going on before the party even started, and some of the cast members were like, "Hey, we need you to set up that way, please."
Yeah.
And then they let everybody back in there.
Yeah, and then the last one, which we will talk about a little bit later in our review here. It's at the Hollywood Brown Derby, which is the main restaurant in Hollywood Studios. They also had like a jazz band. We didn't get to eat there, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I was able to go in there and film a little bit about the with the atmosphere and the jazz band. Super chill, really nice, but
it was a hot ticket. So that, I mean, obviously it was popular. So there were some cool characters. Chip and Dale were in their Rescue Rangers outfit, which I really like that cartoon. It's a cute little cartoon. I love my Chip and Dale. So they were in that. Powerline Max was out, which we had seen Powerline Max from some of the parades, so we didn't feel too pressured to get over there. Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb was there. And then you had, who were some of the other characters?
Pluto, Daisy, Mickey. I think they also had Frozone and Edna.
Edna was in her classic Edna meeting spot. Frozone, I've seen Frozone be on either side of the little Pixar alley, but I met Frozone. Really good. There was like no lines for some of these. So it was really good.
Quantity-wise, there wasn't that many character, but I think the character energy was really good.
And I will say that the characters were all super enthusiastic to be there. Sometimes the characters, they've had a long day, but no, all the characters and the cast members too. One more thing I would get into the good for those that want to do it. A lot of the ride times were really short. So, there was people doing...
And it was a sold-out night, actually.
It was a sold-out night, and some of the longest waits I was seeing was 20, 25 minutes for some of the rides.
And then Rise of Resistance, obviously, was a virtual queue only at 8 p.m. One last thing, sorry, Mike, now that you mentioned it. There were some really interesting Photopass photos. So while Mike was doing something else, I actually got to try out a couple of the new photo shots. These are super neat, right? One of them had this robotic arm that was kind of like following you around, and you did a little 15-second clip, and it, I'll put the end result here. It was really neat. And then the other one, they had this like an array of camera that did like the super boomerang shot, which is really, really cool too. Again, I will pop that little footage there.
So what I'm hoping is that in some of the future magic shots, they're piloting. Hopefully they're piloting this technology here. So hopefully, even if you go to other parks just doing normal magic shots, hopefully some of this technology will start trickling it down. I'm sure they're using this party as a place to test it, also make the party a little bit more special.
For this party, you get a couple different, tchotchkes, and, you get the lanyard and a wristband. So a lot of times, they've, through whatever reason, cost cutting, whatever the case might be, they, now you don't get the lanyard for a lot of those parties, but this one you do get a lanyard. And at the end of the party, as you exit it, they give you a little coaster.
And it's a little package of 2 coasters. So we have 4 now. 4 coasters.
So for Mickey's Very Merry, you get cookies and hot chocolate and cider. This one, you get a lanyard and, something else.
So, and that would kind of be I guess it's maybe where I'll start off a little bit with the not so nice.
Yeah.
If you were thinking of something that's more family, I do think this is, like I said earlier, for me, it's great. It's more adult focused. There's less, if you bring kids, you're going to pay full price and there's less for them to do. There's not a lot of a lot of the food and drink are all adult focused. So there's not, hot chocolate and candy and cookies and eggnog and cider and all those
for less adventurous eaters.
Yeah. Well, no, and there's not as many characters and things like that. So if you're thinking of bringing younger kids, just keep that in mind as like a not so nice. But if you're thinking of bringing your older children that are kind of getting into that young adult phase, this might actually be a good kind of like have them feel like a little bit of a grown up for a night. So
absolutely.
This one kind of varies depending on your specific situation, I think.
So, okay, really moving on to the not so nice category. So
it was good to have that kind of halvesy one depending on your situation.
So the map absolutely drove me insane. So anyway, we were talking about, party things. They hand you the wristband, which, cast members will check it periodically, whatever. And then they'll give you a party map, right? It tells you where everything is, characters, this and that, and the other thing. Okay.
Where they distribute the maps in Hollywood studios is not the most well lit. And then this is the first time I really realized in Hollywood studios it can be hard.
Dark in there.
It can be hard to find a place at night to be able to read something that's not like your phone where it's got its own light.
So on top of that, so what they do is they put a little sheen in like a box.
It's like almost like those reflective holograms that you would see on like limited merchandise or something like that to show authenticity. That.
So good luck finding where everything is.
They would put numbers and
there
would be a star that was that highly reflective material. And then there would be printed a number or a letter that you could hardly make out.
So you know how you have those like colorblind tests? Sometimes you're like seeing what the number is within those dots. That's what it reminded me of.
And then what made it worse is if you tried to shine your phone on it to be able to see it, the reflection back from the reflective material was so much it would wash out kind of the letters. So we were able to make it work. A good place to read is if you go to the entrance to Indiana Jones the show. There's some nice light under there that's just outside the Mickey thing. That's where I ended up reading it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure these maps honestly do look great during the day.
They're beautiful.
The information on them is good. It's easy to read, but it's definitely like one of those when you're walking around, it's dark.
You're like, I have no idea where I'm going.
Where's N?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Which kind of bleeds into the next one, which I think Mike's already hinted at. It's just the overall chaotic confusing nature of it.
Well, and I do think that this stems from and this kind of will lead back to, a whole other kind of thought at the end here, I think. It's a new party. Mm-hmm. There's no guides out there. Nobody knew where stuff was going to get set up. They had stuff on the map, but you go to Very Merry and it's like everybody knows where the different characters are already going to be. They start making the lines early.
Yep.
And then
they bring the characters in early.
They bring the characters out early. This is a late start party. This is an 8:30 start party, and the characters did not come out till 8:30 on the nose. So
you're essentially burning party time if you try, if you're really wanting to meet some of the characters.
Now due to the scale and size of the party, I still felt like we were able to get a lot done, but I just felt it's like a little area for improvement.
Yeah.
Now, first night, even the cast members some of the cast members we talked to were like, we're not sure where things are going to be. But after a while, what they did, so what I noticed what started to happen is around 7:30, 8 o'clock, they started setting up areas.
Yeah.
And at each character meet area, they set up a specific Christmas tree for that character. So Chip and Dale, they had like a little Rescue Ranger symbol on top of it, and some of the little things on the tree were themed for Rescue Rangers. Phineas and Ferb had their platypus spy buddy sitting on the tree there.
Yeah.
And then I'm
guessing the other
I kind of actually wish I got to see Powerline Max's now.
Yeah.
But,
And then the other thing is, which that will really bleed into the very last point that kind of, we're going to call it the naughty. But anyways, they had these special limited capacity events that they kind of pre-teased when they were doing the marketing for this event. So the Twilight Soirée at the Tower Hotel, there's this like Latin fair at the ABC Commissary or Commissary Lane area. And then there's also the Hollywood Brown Derby, the jazz, club, whatever. So then, nobody knew how we were supposed to sign up for it or like get into it. And rumor had it that some of them was going to be like a virtual walk-in or walk-up list.
Virtual wait list.
Yeah, virtual walk-up wait list. And some of them, didn't. It really wasn't abundantly clear which one's what. And so, we were kind of like, okay, not sure how we're able to get into
Yeah,
these.
if we got to do a virtual wait list here, virtual wait list there. Turns out the only one that's the virtual wait list is actually the Brown Derby, which was kind of nice because if you wanted to stand in line and wait for your drinks at the soiree,
stuff,
the Brown Derby, the staff there were good. They were trying to communicate to everyone. I think part of what happened was there was just like one kind of a problem with it, which was simply they told us, okay, sorry, we're at capacity.
This is our naughty now. This is the one naughty thing that I don't know. That was a bit of a deal breaker a little bit.
There was a cast member before the party started, was really great. They had their little QR code, but it was like for a reservation for the restaurant. And I asked the cast member and they said that, hey, no, this will take you right to the page for the virtual walk-up list. And they told us that, right around 8:15 is when they're going to start opening up. Some other cast members were saying 8:30, but they were really confident, like 8:15, is when they're going to try to target.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I got busy waiting for Chippendale, talking to some other guests in line, and I didn't realize 8:15 passed out. Jen was in another line.
I tried pulling it at 8:15.
No, she was trying pulling it at 8:15. The person right in front of me pulled it at 8:15. The person right in front of me got it. Jen did not. And so what happened was, which is fine,
it's like a virtual queue. We're used to it.
We're used to it.
That's not the point.
So when I think where the main miscommunication, and this is where the miscommunication that I would tell Disney that they need to improve is this. We went over to the Brown Derby afterwards, and we were talking to some of the cast members, and they were like, very, the guidance that we got from them was basically, hey, go do other stuff and just keep checking back, and when one comes up, you can grab it.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
They geo-locked the wait list. So if you were not right around the Brown Derby area when that join the virtual wait list popped up, you couldn't join it because you were too far away.
Yeah.
So if you're going to encourage guests to go out and enjoy the rest of the party and continue to check back, and then when they do, and they get in the opening and they go to thing and they go, oh, sorry, you're too far away.
Yeah, that happened to me because so basically I was trying to, pull the, walk-up wait list periodically throughout the evening just to check back, whatever. And then while I was waiting for the Miss Piggy show, one popped up, but then I went to go and try to sign up for it. They're like, oh, no, you're too far away. So that actually annoyed me a lot, actually. Yeah.
So it's a relatively small party. You don't want to lock guests into the area around the Brown Derby and say like, hey, sit here for the next half hour and maybe try and get a table.
Yeah.
They really need to remove that. So if you are around in the park and you're checking the thing and you manage to, get one of the wait list things, you should be able to join it.
Yeah. And then for me, the wait list would have been 15 minutes later anyways. That's a spot that I would have been able to pull. So there was no reason why I couldn't just watch my show, wait for it, and then go back to my spot whenever that's been called. So the big issue with the Brown Derby, hopefully they'll fix that. It filled up really quick. Yep.
If you tried to join the wait list and you were not in the immediate vicinity, they would not let you.
Yep.
So that would unfortunately tie you to spend your Jollywood nights in front of the Chinese theater, which is, you want to be out and enjoying the rest of the event.
There's a lot to do.
So
yeah, I mean, final thoughts wise, like we mentioned, the food was really good, drinks was good, atmosphere was good. Obviously the first night, cast members are still testing the water. First night jitters, totally fine. I think overall, still a fun party that's more sort of geared towards adults or like older children. Would we go back again with the knowledge that we have? Maybe.
I think I would do this party again. I don't know right now if it's a party that I would do a lot of.
Yeah.
Just because there's not as much. There's no, there's not like a parade and stuff like that. But I mean, that stuff's more geared towards kids. So I think this might be a fun, for me personally, this might be a fun adult date night.
Yeah.
At Hollywood Studios. I think that's how I would think about it.
Yeah.
Do I want to do it all the time? not right now. Was it a good time? Yes.
Anywho, well, we hope that this little bit of a rant and like kind of honest review gave you a pretty fair picture of what the Jollywood Nights was about, to help you make a decision on whether or not you want to do it or you want to do it, try it out eventually. You know, if you like this video, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know you don't miss our upcoming content. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you can continue to receive these brutal, honest reviews that every once in a while that we will kind of talk about. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you very soon. Bye.